to arrest Professor Small. Bouncer Snappy pushed Professor Small into the federal government bus that brought the federal government team. Snappy forgot to lock the bus, and after 30 minutes, Professor Small tried the door, found it open, and left. Later that night, Honorable Eggy, while being interviewed on TV, said, Professor Small, I know you are watching this. I am coming for your wife and children. You escaped today, but my boys will get your family. Professor Small has been in morbid fear since then, refusing to come to work despite resumption of lectures by ASU. Assess these facts in light of the issues arising in torts, buttressing your answer with appropriate authorities.
Thank you. So, can someone please assess the facts? Number one, when you have a problem question, what do you think you should first do? You assess the facts. Get your facts clearly out. Who are those that are there? And what is their role in the question? So that's why the question says assess it. You know those who are the parties in this question. Pick them out. Let's pick them out. Who do we have here? Because if you miss out a political party, it could be very problematic. Who are the parties here? Sanusi, go ahead. Sanusi, yes.
Okay, so the parties are Honorable Eggy, Professor Small, Honorable Tweets, and Snappy, ma.
Okay. So what is each of their roles? What has each person done? You have Professor Honorable Eggy, Professor Small, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Fancy. Who did you mention again? Let me be sure you got everybody right. Honorable Eggy, Professor
Okay,
Small.
ma. I said Honorable Eggy, Professor Small, Honorable Tweets, and Snappy the Bouncer.
Okay. Do we agree that those are the only people there? Okay, let's go on. We know when you are asked to proceed. So, Honorable Eggy, what was his role? So, when you have a problem question, you assess the facts. Be sure that you did not mix up any of the facts. You read your facts to get out the role or the what each person has done or what role each person has played or what issue is emanating. Now, Honorable Hegi, who is he in this question? And what has he done?
He was the one that threw the mic at Professor Small, which caused the bottle of water to splash on Honorable Tweets. And he was also the one that ordered his bouncer Snappy to lock up Professor Small in the bus, and he was the one that threatened Professor Small on TV, ma.
Okay. So you've seen what he has done. I hope you are noting those things. What about Professor Small?
Good morning, ma'am. So Small is the like the victim in the whole thing. He was one that Honorable Eggy threw microphone at, and he was also locked. He was also pushed inside the bus and also threatened.
Okay, so he was like a victim throughout.
Yes, ma'am.
So that means he should be the one that is like a plaintiff if you are looking at it. Let's see. Okay. So who else is there? Lamidi. That means Darasimi. And what is the role of that person?
Good morning, ma. I just wanted to clarify that for the person that ordered his bouncer to lock up Honorable, I mean to lock up Prof Small, it was Honorable Sweet. So Honorable Sweet thought that it was Professor Small that poured water on him, that splashed water on him. Then he ordered his bouncer Snappy to arrest Professor Small.
So what is the point you are making? I'm trying to get your point. As I'm trying to look at the question as well.
Okay, so yes, the last person said that Honorable Eggy is like the person that all the actions was done against. So
Okay.
I'll be sorry, Professor Small, sorry. So aside from what Honorable Eggy did, Honorable Eggy threw a microphone at him, and after that, the second act that he did towards him was to threaten him on public television. Then for
Okay.
Honorable
So
Tweet,
what you are saying that Retweet was the one that ordered that Snappy should. So you are
to
corrected
lock him up.
that yes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So Tweet is the one that instructed. So you have two honorables there, right?
Yes,
Because if you
ma'am.
don't get it, and what he did is clear to you. Okay. Now, who else is there? Snappy. Snappy, what was Snappy's role?
It was the bouncer that locked up Professor Smalls on the order of Honorable Tweets.
Okay. So now, what all these things that you have mentioned, as a student who has read and has been under the you know, has been in class, as you are seeing those things that they have done, what area of the law is occurring to you?
Trespass to person, ma.
Okay. So this question borders on trespass to persons. That's the first thing you are going to tell us. This is the question. The facts of this case relate to trespass to persons. Then the issues are, so then you pick out the issues. The time you spend analyzing the role of each person and what they have done would have helped you to begin to think and formulate issues in your mind. So this question, the facts of this question illustrates a case of trespass to person, and the issues before us are as follows. One, what is the first issue? What is the first issue that you can see? Or just be telling me the issues that you can see. Any hands up?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Okay, the first issue I can see is whether whether um whether the mic thrown at Professor Small and I'm sorry, ma, which did not hit him. Sorry, ma. I'm so sorry, ma. Can can you give me a minute to like put it together?
Okay. Yes, Odunlami. Was it Odunlami that was speaking? Odunlami can go ahead. Okay, Odunlami has spoken. Let me see. Zion.
Okay, good morning, ma.
Good morning.
Okay, ma. So the first issue I can see is whether Honorable Eggy is is liable for assault on Professor Small for attempting to throw the mic at him.
Okay. The first issue is whether Eggy is liable to Professor Small for attempting to throw mic at him. Okay. Do we agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can somebody couch it in another way? The way you think that should be couched? Any other Bello, Zachariah, can you give us another way to couch it?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. So
Good
the
morning.
way I would couch it is whether Honorable Eggy throwing a mic at Professor Small amounts to assault.
Whether Honorable Hagee praying is okay. So that's another one. Okay. So we believe that it is a question relating to assault, right? Both are correct. So you can couch it that, and you can be more specific because You can also create your issue around the parties. Is it you've created that by mentioning the names of the parties. So is it an assault to throw a mic, to throw an object at a person when the object did not hit them? Because the microphone hit a bottle of water on the table and you splash water. Okay. So is it assault? Can somebody tell us that?
Yes, ma, to constitute an assault.
Okay. So what would you do in the exam? Okay, so let's just wait. Let's pick. Now you can know that issue. Let's pick other issues and identify them. Because in the exam, I expect that you list your issues first. Because the marking scheme would probably have a score for being able to list the issues. So you picked one. What's the next one? So that we don't forget to pick all the issues. What's the next issue? So I hope people are noting down. What's the next issue? So you've given the issue regarding Honorable Eggie's throwing of the mic. What other issue can you see? Especially relating to assault that you are talking about. Any other issue? So let's take
Good morning.
let me take okay, Mutunrayo, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so the other issue would be whether or not the fact that the microphone hit a bottle of water on the table and did not hit Professor Small would absolve Honorable Eggy from liability for assault and the intended battery mark.
And now what you have done is that okay, write it down. Do we agree with what she has said? Because we know what you have done is to lump two things together. Whether it's the fact that it didn't hit him will constitute an assault, right? And that it's a, what did you say again? You mentioned battery.
Yes, ma. I said whether it would absolve him from the liability of assault and the intended battery.
Assault, liability of assault. Okay, let's add it to it and we'll talk about what she said. I hope somebody is taking notes for us. We'll talk about it when you want to discuss. I'll just leave it like that. Let's take let me take Ayomide. Ayomide.
Thank you, ma.
Okay.
So I think the next issue would be whether Bouncer Snappy and Honorable Twit will be liable for false imprisonment of Professor Small.
Okay. Whether Bouncer Snappy and Honorable Twit will be liable for false imprisonment of Professor Small. Okay. Do we agree with that?
No, ma, like as the second issue.
Pardon?
I believe that before that, there's an issue around what she just said, but before that, there's still an issue on the splash of water on Honorable Tweet, whether it will make Honorable Eggy liable for battery.
The splash of water, whether it makes Honorable Eggy liable for what?
Battery.
Battery. Let's note that. Let's note that. And I'm glad somebody is referring you back, because in the exam, a lot of students missed out that point, where that splashing of water on Honorable Tweet. Because the danger is that if you pass that point and you didn't see it, you forget about it. Now, let me make a point. If you write the imprisonment first and then you write the splash of water, it doesn't take anything from your question. Why you did not leave it out? So, do you understand what I'm saying? Just what has just happened now. Somebody mentioned whether there's false imprisonment, but before then, there's the issue of the water splashing on Honorable Tweet. So in the exam, assuming that you had already picked the false imprisonment before you saw the tweet one, no problem. Just go discuss the battery one too. It doesn't take away from your scores. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so she's giving us an issue around the splash of water. Because splashing of water on somebody, does it have any legal effect in trespass to person? So she's giving us an issue around that. Is there another issue? So we've taken that. We've taken the one about the bouncer and Professor Honorable Tweet, you know. Now, what are the issues around this Bansa? Look at it critically. Look at it critically. Is it just false imprisonment? Now,
Ma,
let me take.
okay.
Wait.
Yeah, Odilami,
Okay, go ahead.
I want to say, the issue I can find around the bouncer is that does him pushing Prof. Smalls into the van constitutes a battery?
Fantastic. So there was a push. You know, the devil is in the details. Especially when you are looking at this, thought, it's in the details. Every word, every verb, take note of them. The verbs, what are they doing in the work? Okay, there was a pushing. So is that a battery before you go to false imprisonment? Now, somebody has told that the issue is about false imprisonment. There's an issue around false imprisonment. Can you be more specific regarding this false imprisonment? Then let me take now. Hold on. I've taken a bit today. Chioma Obiegu, Annabelle.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I think the issue can be more specific in the sense that does whether 30 minutes whether Professor Small being locked up for 30 minutes will constitute false imprisonment.
Okay. Whether with 30 minutes you constitute false imprisonment, maybe, but I think something more specific in the couching, something a bit more relating to what some of the things would have been taught, I believe. Let me see. Zachariah.
All right.
Can you look at that
Morning,
area?
ma.
Yes, good morning.
I think to put it in another way would be to say whether the confining of Professor Small with a means to escape amounts to false imprisonment because he didn't lock the door.
Okay. Forgot to lock the bus, and after 30 minutes, was Small tried to the door and found it open and left. How were you taught? So what it means is that he said he forgot, but he tried the door and left. So what? Well, let me keep quiet. I'm not going to answer the question. But there is an issue around that, and he has what's giving us.
Sorry, excuse me, ma. I have
Negligence.
Who is speaking?
Ma. Good morning, ma.
Okay. Good morning. You say it is negligence.
Yes, ma.
Why is it negligence?
Okay. Could we say that could Bouncer Snappy's failure to lock the bus be considered negligence? Because he had failed to lock it, and what if someone else had walked in to like harm him?
Does he have a duty of care to lock him up in the first place? Because for you to say negligence, what is the duty of care here?
No.
Duty of care? No, there's no duty of care. And you see, the way to not to get yourself confused is this. Let me tell you something. Different lecturers have come to teach you different topics. Okay? The lecturers will set exams on the topics they've taught you. So if somebody else taught you trespass to person, the person will not set questions that deal with negligence. So I can give you those ones as hints on how to read questions. We are not mixing. So since you have identified that this question deals with trespass to persons, there is no negligence inside it because it does not hold a duty of care to lock him up. Do you understand what I'm saying? Apart from the structural issue about the fact that, so I took you through negligence. I'm going to set the questions on negligence. The person that taught you trespass to persons, he said the questions on trespass to persons. If you see negligence there, it must probably be an error. It's not impossible for people to make mistakes. But let us assume that there's negligence, that we have even decided to change the structure and we added trespass to negligence and to detinue and conversion. The issue for you to say there is negligence is that there must be a duty of care. What duty of care does Bansa have towards Prof in locking him up? There is none. Do you understand? So what yes.
Yes, ma.
Yes, ma. I think with the issue is whether there was total restraint, whether the restraint was total.
whether the tuition was total, but there's still something more.
Hello, ma. Hello, ma.
Ma,
Ma,
Yes.
can it be? Hello, ma.
Yes, but
Can it be whether Snappy's actions in detaining Prof. Small amount to false imprisonment, considering Prof. Small left the boss on his own?
considering what?
Prof. Smalls left the boss on his own.
He left. No, the fact that the person that you detained left later does not destroy the action now. It doesn't
Okay, ma.
destroy the action. The person later left.
ma,
I want to
Yes.
try, ma.
sorry,
Hello,
ma.
ma.
Please, ma.
Okay,
Okay.
let's. You know what? I will give you. Okay, one more person should speak. Then we
Okay,
go
ma.
ahead and answer questions.
Does not.
Ma, please.
Ma, can I
Does
try?
it? Okay.
Issue can be Bouncer Snappy
Ma, can I
pushed
say
Professor
something?
Small into the
What?
federal government bus that brought the federal
Can
government
you repeat
team.
the question to us now?
Snappy forgot to lock the bus,
What's going
and
on?
after 30 minutes, Professor Small tried the door,
Is it
found
AI
it
that is
open,
reading
and
for us?
left. Later that night, Honorable Eggy, while being interviewed on TV, said, Professor Small, I know you're watching
I
this.
think.
I am coming for you, your wife and children. You escaped today, but my boys will get your family.
Hello.
Professor Small has been in morbid fear since then.
AI has
He
taken over our
is
meeting.
despite resumption of lectures by ASU. Accept these facts in light of the issues arising in torts, but trusting your answer with appropriate authorities.
Thank you.
Hello, ma. Can I try, ma? Can we talk
Yes.
about the
Ma,
fact that
can I?
Professor Small's lack of knowledge of
I
the
think our
false
something is
imprisonment
interfering with our
question.
meeting.
What do you
I'm
think
going
is
to
the
I'm going to end the meeting and start again.
You assess the facts. Get your facts.
I will,
Out.
can you hear me?
Who are those that are there? And what is their
I
role
think
in the question?
I am, ma.
So that's why the
okay.
question
The
says
recording is
assess it.
interfering. I
Yes,
don't
ma.
All those who are the
so I
who are
will
the
end the
parties to
meeting. We
this
start
question.
again.
Pick them out. Let's pick them out. Who do we have here?
Okay.